And Marcus, this isn't the first time that we've been waiting for this, a big catalyst for Bitcoin. And as you talk about the spot Bitcoin ETF, other countries that have launched it didn't see a massive rally. Why will this time be different?
Welcome back to the Crypto Realm, your go-to source for the latest updates in the world of cryptocurrency. Today, we're diving into a topic that's causing ripples in the crypto space. You've probably noticed Bitcoin's recent surge, and here's the scoop. Investors are eagerly anticipating a decision from the Securities and Exchange Commission regarding a potential spot Bitcoin ETF. If given the green light, it could open the floodgates for a wave of investment into the crypto market. Today, we're digging into the details to find out if this time is genuinely different. Will the approval of the Bitcoin ETF be a game changer for the crypto market? We got exclusive footage from a recent interview shedding light on this. Stick around as we play you snippets of the conversation and break down the insights shared by industry experts. What does this mean for Bitcoin, and what potential impact could it have on the broader crypto landscape? Stick around, subscribe, let's get into it.
Well, the US is, of course, the largest pool of capital. And of course, ETFs are only really established in the US. We have seen this a long time, in Asia, how Asia tried to establish ETFs, but people don't really use them. And I think this is because the investor base is very different for the US market than anywhere else. And the US is really dominated by a lot of institutions, and those institutions are using ETFs really in their asset allocation. Of course, we have the registered investment advisor community, and estimates vary from, they manage 5 trillion to even more. But if they move like 1% of those 5 trillion, that's like 50 billion into Bitcoin, right? And I think that could have like a big impact, because we sort of can calculate if the market cap changes, what might be the implications for the price of Bitcoin. And what has really changed is really that we have, certain judges telling the SEC around the grayscale lawsuit to go back and reevaluate their estimates. We're having BlackRock as the largest asset manager in the world, also filing for a Bitcoin ETF. So I think the pressure is really building. And then there is an overall sentiment that the market had that the US regulatory regime is trying to clean up the market. So in the last missing piece in this puzzle was, for example, to sort of like eliminate an exchange from the US market that has been known and admitted to had illicit trading going on.
We're delving into a pivotal moment for Bitcoin as we discuss the potential approval of a Bitcoin spot ETF in the United States. While Canada and Europe have given the green light without causing significant market shifts, the key difference lies in the sheer scale of the US financial landscape. Historically, ETFs have underperformed in regions with less financial clout, and with the substantial funds in the US, the impact could be seismic. Currently, Bitcoin's stance with the ETFs outside the US hasn't made big waves, but all eyes are on the States. The approval here could usher in a tidal wave of institutional investment, injecting billions into the crypto market. The initial green light for a Bitcoin spot ETF is almost certain to propel Bitcoin to new heights, but the burning question remains: how high can it soar?
Marcus, you said even if one of these spot Bitcoin ETFs move, that could have a big impact. We're looking at Bitcoin roughly at $37,000 right now. What does that move look like? How much higher can it go?
Yeah, I think we have heard a false rumor that proved not true, where Bitcoin rallied 10%, literally in a heartbeat. So we would estimate if a spot Bitcoin ETF would be approved, Bitcoin could go up easily 20%. And I think, to put it in numbers, there's around $120 billion in precious metals ETFs in the US. So that means in gold and in silver. And if you just move, 10-20% of those, shift them over into Bitcoin, you have certainly sort of something around in the range of like $25 billion of inflow. And we calculated this might have actually an impact of every $1 billion, a 4% impact on the price. So we might actually see kind of a price towards kind of 57,000. We calculated. We can see if there's an approval for the Bitcoin ETF.
57,000. In
yes,
the medium term?
In the medium term, yes. I mean, it sounds reasonable, right? When you look at, we were just at 25,000, like 2 months ago, and now we're at 37,000. So this is just literally like, sort of like 12,000 rally that we had. So another 12,000 point rally, it gets us already like to the 50,000 point area. So I think this can easily happen. And again, as I said, if you if you put in kind of the macro tailwinds of the Fed pausing, if you compare to the 2017 episode when the CME announced the Bitcoin futures, I mean, I think there is just a lot of tailwind, and I think there's a lot of pent-up demand. And don't forget, we have all these ETF providers. They're of course doing a lot of marketing. There are a lot of educational, and Larry Fink, as the CEO from BlackRock, is almost every other day on TV and saying how important a Bitcoin ETF is. So I think there is a coordinated marketing effort now to really bring prices higher.